96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day. The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the position of the management and staff of Guardian Network.
The aftermath of every social revolution brings about change. Cultural norms and landmarks shift as our minds and hearts expand beyond the familiar. To everything, there is a season and a time to every purpose in the land of the living. This is our time to renew, revive, and restore the hope lost to the busyness of life. This is our time to dig again and rebuild from the storms of our past on a solid footing that holds. Welcome to The Foundation.
The Foundation.
The Foundation is brought to you by Alive, Bonneville Bones, Burger King, Commonwealth Bank, ESC Distributors Limited, Grand Bahama News, Printmasters, Ron's Electric Motors, and Wendy's.
Foundation. The Foundation. The Foundation. 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 The Foundation. The Foundation.
Excuse me for the interruption. We come under the great reminder to say this coming Friday, and please come over the lawn. You went to the man number one sound round town. And it's a Friday evening. Bim! The people have died of.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. 96.9 FM radio. Howard Grant in your company. The Foundation live and in full effect on this beautiful Friday afternoon. Grateful to be in your company. Ran in the studio just now. It seems like it's just starting to rain. I don't know exactly what's happening, but I hope you guys are good out there as you continue to be able to do all that we're doing. Guys, make sure that you're good, man. Make sure that everything is taken care of. If you're in the market, I just want to start it off like this. If you're in the market for insurance, you want to be able to take care of that, make sure you go down and check out my good, decent people over at AFS Insurance Agents and Brokers. They get everything laid out for you on number 407 Blue Hill Road South. They can take very, very good care of you, man. If you're looking for something for, residential, something commercial, if you're looking for something expansive for the entire family, those particular packages, if you're looking for, something that you can be able to do in-house for bulk financing, bulk insurance that you're looking for your vehicles or all those particular things, check them out down there at AFS Insurance Agents and Brokers. They can take good care of you. 3411 AFS, 3411 AFS. So go check them out. Just let them know that Howard Grant sent you down there. They're open 9 to 5 on the weekdays, 9 to 2 on the weekend. So make sure you check them out in that particular space. Guys, I want to tell you about Coco Palm Bistro. I told you about that already. These guys have been committed to doing a great deal of things with us. And I told you from a personal standpoint and in a personal perspective, I've always been able to kind of sit down with my kids and break bread with them whenever they want to do something real fancy. And doing that, we can go down there to Coco Palm Bistro and enjoy ourselves. Well, they just want to let you guys know that they're enjoying a happy hour. Is going to be every Friday from 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. That's 4 hours of happy hour. My God, that's an extended hour. Right? Every Friday from 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. they got everything available for you. So make sure you go down there and check them out. They're located in the Harbor Green Shopping Plaza on the Western Road. The telephone number is 677-6776, or you can check them out at opentable.com. They are open. Remember I told you, I think mid-month, by October 6th is when they're going to actually pull back on these particular things. Talking about October 6th, my father's birthday is going to be in 2 days. So we're going to be able to wish him a happy birthday in those particular areas. So, guys, check out Coco Plum Bistro every Friday. Coco Plum Bistro and Bar. They get everything available for you in those areas if you're looking for something like that. Also, I got to be able to shout out my good, decent people, man. Make sure you check them out. MTS Rebar over with Avery Lightbourne. I thought he was going to come join me today. But if he's not here, then we can be able to do something hopefully next week and kind of get some things done. So MTS Rebar has been doing a great deal of things with the fiber rebar. and we continue to be able to talk about that. So I'm going to wait for him to get here so we can talk more about that. He's excited about a few things that he told me about. So we're good to be able to talk about those things, right? Make sure you pick up the Guardian newspaper, guys. The Guardian has everything in there. Shanty homes are coming down. This is what the PLP wants you to know. Shanty homes are coming down. Information's in the paper today. You can be able to read that the government resumes demolition exercises on this. The government yesterday started demolition on the illegal structures of the T-Wash Shanty Town in southern New Providence, more than a month after the residents were given notice. Deputy Building Controller Officer William Smith said that about 123 structures in the community of Cowpen were slated for demolition as officers begin the process of removing doors and windows from the building. It's never a celebratory time when we have to work on the expulsion of human beings from an unregulated structure. This is what Smith said. Smith, my brother, Mr. Smith, William Smith, you are the most articulate, insightful human in this particular posture. I think a lot of persons are eager historically. This ain't nothing to say about your colleagues, but you have taken the time out to identify this and use the language of inclusion and identifying these particular things, that this is not celebratory. This is nothing to celebrate. And I want to commend you for taking that kind of a posture. But whilst you're still being able to take this posture, we as citizens recognize the responsibility that we have. We as citizens, many of us not necessarily celebrating the expulsion of human life, but the eradication of this sort of an idea of being able to live unregulated, undocumented in a space that the Bahamian people have to pay for in one way or another as they continue to be able to move forward. So we want to be able to talk about those things and continue to be able to move in that area. The public sector salary review is ongoing. I'm sure they're going to tell us more about that and talk about those particular things. A man accused of a 4-year-old's murder denied bail. The government eyeing more reductions in customs duty. This is what Hal Ketis has said in those particular instances. Well, guys, we're continuing with our series that actually talks about discerning leadership from a constituency first approach. We decided not to do 2 constituencies today. So at the end, by the 1 o'clock hour, we're going to be able to assess the constituencies that we've done for the week. I've gotten some increased calls from politicians. They want to know what it's all about and so forth and so on. I'm more than happy to tell you, let you know that it's going to be transparent. From our first week, we recognize that the conversation is more free-flowing when we're dealing with the politicians before us, right? And so I encourage you to be able to come here to speak on behalf of these things. I encourage you to be able to come here and speak. Say your piece. Amen. I'm not going to fight you. Today we're going to be dealing with Member of Parliament for North Andros and the Berry Islands, none other than the Honorable Leonardo Lightbourne. This is a constituency of North Abaco, and we're only going back from 2002. Okay, so we know that there's historic value associated with a great deal of these constituencies, but we've decided to only go back 20-some years, right? And being able to identify that, we wanted to talk about what has happened over the course of this 2 decades and a pinch. We want to talk about what has happened as it relates to where we are in this country over those 2 decades and a little bit. And so this is where we are in that stead and really being able to talk about those things and find out more about that. Now, before you get to the telephone lines, because I see it lit up and being able to move, but I think that our technicians are dealing with something with that, so we're going to be able to deal with that. Let me give you some history or an overview on this. The constituency of North Abaco from 2002 to 2017, the constituency of North Andros, and the Berry Islands was represented by Dr. Perry Gomez of the Progressive Liberal Party. Dr. Gomez, a well-known medical professional, brought a strong focus on health and social welfare to his political role. His reputation, particularly his work in the public sector, health sector, greatly influenced his political success during this period. During his tenure, Dr. Gomez concentrated on improving health facilities, social services, and addressing the needs of his largely rural constituency. North Andros, characterized by its agricultural and fishing communities, required a development effort that aligned with both economic growth and social welfare. The PLP's traditional approach to governance, emphasizing public health, social support, and infrastructural development, appealed to the needs of North Andros residents. The 10-year tenure of Dr. Gomez is often seen as one of mixed success. While he maintained a focus on healthcare and welfare, which resonated with the older, more traditional voters in the constituency, critics pointed out that the economic development, job creation, infrastructural improvement lagged during this period. The emphasis on healthcare, though valuable, was not enough to address the broader challenges faced by North Andros, such as unemployment, youth engagement, and sustainable development of the local economy. From 2017 to 2020, the Free National Movement shift and changed this particular constituency. In 2017, a notable political shift occurred when Carlton Bowleg of the Free National Movement won the seat. This change reflected growing sentiments among the constituents for more dynamic, economic-focused leadership. The FNM's platform appealed to voters who felt that the previous PLP leadership had not fully addressed economic issues like job creation, infrastructure development, and economic diversification in the constituency. Bowleg's representation marked a change from the more traditional health-centered focus of the PLP to a strategy that sought to stimulate economic activity, improve public infrastructure, and modernize the constituency's approach to growth. The FNM's tenure emphasized efforts to improve local infrastructure, including road and public utilities, which had been ongoing concerns for residents in North Andros and the Berry Islands. In 2021, to this present time, the return to the Progressive Liberal Party under Leonardo Lightbourne. In 2021, a general election, there was a revision to the PLP's leadership with the election of Leonardo Lightbourne. Lightbourne's victory can be seen as a desire among constituents to blend traditional community-centered approach with a more modern economic outlook. A businessman with a diverse portfolio including logistics, hospitality, wholesale, and vehicle rentals, Lightbourne embodies a shift in the PLP's approach. Under Lightbourne's leadership, the PLP seeks to address previous gaps by combining economic development initiatives with the party's traditional focus on community welfare. His business background and engagement in the community activities signal an effort to modernize the PLP's image and address economic concerns directly, particularly in areas like job creation, local business support, and community development. The commitment to progress in the constituency now includes not just health and welfare, but also economic empowerment and infrastructural development. This is the analysis that we took. The political shift in North Andros and the Berry Islands reflect an evolving needs and the sentiments of the constituents. In the PLP era, from 2000 to 2002 to 2017, the decade under Perry Gomez was marked as a traditional PLP focus with health and welfare focus. While these efforts were beneficial, they did not fully address the broader economic infrastructural needs. Dr. Gomez's influence, rooted in his medical background, was strong among traditional voters. However, the economic development did not progress at the rate that met the aspirations of many constituents, particularly younger voters seeking job opportunities and modern amenities. The FNM shift from 17 to 21 under Carlton Bowleg indicated a demand for more economic infrastructural focus. And then the return for the PLP in that particular side from the 2021 to this current move this shift with Leonardo Lightburn represents a nuanced change, right? This is the information. We did all the information. I want to be able to do this before I go to a commercial break. Let's get to this now. Listen in for the numbers. 42 persons took the poll. In North Andros and the Berry Islands, 42 persons took the poll. Just like everything else, the poll spiked a day before. Okay? I did not do the poll today. I wasn't going to sweat my guts out for that. Okay? I didn't do it today. I did it last night around 9:30. So I did all the information, collected the data, amalgamated the information, and identified exactly was what. 42 persons took the poll up to last night. And with those particular persons, let's lay it out. All these persons are registered. They indicated that they're registered in the constituency of North Andros and the Berry Islands. First question, voter behavior. Did you vote in the last general election? Out of the 42, 29 persons would represent 69.05%. 29 participants indicated yes, they did vote. 13 indicated no. 13 is 30.95%. Okay? So 30% indicated that they did not vote in the last election. 29 indicated that they will. The next question is, are you planning to vote in the next election? 26 participants indicated, yes, we will vote. This is down 3 participants. Come on now, talk to me. This is down 3 participants. So we went from 69% to now 61% who intends to vote in the next general election. And 16 participants indicated that they will not vote in the next general. They have no plans, no intention to vote in the next general election. That represents 38.10%. The age range from 18 to 25 for participants, 9.5%. Age range 26 to 35, 11 participants, 26.19%. Age range 36 to 45, 16 participants, 38.10%. Age range 46 to 56, 6 participants, 14.2%. Age range 56 to 65, 4 participants, and 60 plus, just 1 participant. Let's get to the meat and potatoes of the thing. It says the MP visibility and performance. Has your MP been visible and accessible during this particular time and period? We asked all of them, 42 of them. 1 participant indicated yes, he has. 41 of these people says no, he has not. 97.6% people, out of this poll, it's only 42 people, don't fight me. But 97.62% of the people said we have not seen this man. Community improvement since the last elections. 100% of persons in that particular constituency who says that they're registered to vote in that constituency and who has voted in the last election, 42 participants who took our poll, 100% indicated no, nothing has changed. There's been absolutely no improvement. We asked whether or not he's effective in addressing the issues such as crime and unemployment and social issues in that particular constituency, if he's been vocal about that, if he's been outspoken and being able to reach those persons and speak in that particular light and matter. Out of the 42 persons that took this poll, 100% indicated that he has not. No, he has not been effective in addressing key issues such as crime, unemployment, and social issues. Effectiveness in an ministerial position, if applicable. He does not have a ministerial position, but he is a parliamentary secretary. In that particular capacity, he does have a portfolio with responsibility in the Ministry of Works. They've indicated that he's not been, and I don't know, see, I just want to be decent with this because I want you guys to be honest with me, man. Don't just do this because the man is a PLP and use FNM or he's a FNM and use a PLP. Let's be honest with the thing, man. It's useless having this poll if we put out the information and all you say is no, 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 because of whatever sentiments that you're dealing with. I'm not going to fight you, but this is the information that we're receiving. And if this is the information that we're receiving, the 42 persons are indicating that they're indifferent with it. They're indifferent with his position. They're indifferent with his participation. They said whether or not he's effective in his particular capacity. 42 persons indicated that 100% of them indicated that he is not effective in his with the portfolio that he has. This is what they indicated. Overall, the satisfaction with the MP's performance. I asked whether or not the persons are satisfied with the MP's performance. 100% of the participants indicated that they were not satisfied with his performance. That's the poll, guys. Make sure you check it out. Thefoundation242.com. Thefoundation242.com. Let's dive into more conversations. The line's going to be wide open. I see a telephone call came in. Take the numbers, 323-6232, 323-6232, 325-4316. 325-4259, anywhere from the Family of Islands, 242-300-5720, or hit me up, 422-4796. Quick commercial break. Be right back after this.
Tired of working. Lord, them hear the disco play.
It's back to school season, and Wendy's is bringing it in with a special treat. For a limited time, receive a free apple pie with the purchase of a biggie bag. Choose from Dave's single or chicken sandwich, junior fries, 4-piece nuggets, a 20-ounce drink, and a free apple pie on us. This offer won't last long, so visit your nearest Wendy's and grab your biggie bag and free apple pie today.
Bonneville Bones, established in 1970, is the leader in men's fashion in the Bahamas. We're conveniently located in the mall at Marathon and the Harbor Bay Shopping Plaza, and fully stocked with everything you need for all occasions. Our Harbor Bay location is one door north of Alive, with the black and white signage of Bonneville Boutique. Both locations are open from 10 to 7 p.m. Monday through Saturday. Bonneville Bones and Bonneville Boutique, still the leader in men's fashion, located in the mall at Marathon and the Harbor Bay Shopping Plaza.
Excuse me for the interruption. Boy, come another quick reminder to say this coming Friday, and please come over the lawn. You went to the man number one sound round town. And it's a Friday evening. Bim! The people them died of.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen, 96.9 FM radio. Howard Grant in your company, the Foundation, live and in full effect on this beautiful Friday. Grateful to be in your company, chopping the thing down, having good conversations about who you are, who we are, where we are, and where we going from here. Talk to me. The lines are wide open if you want to be able to be a part of that. We just put the numbers out there and the information for the Honorable Leonardo Lightbourne, the Member of Parliament for North Andros, keep saying Abaco, North Andros and the Berry Islands. North Andros and the Berry Islands. His name is Mr. Leonardo, the Honorable Leonardo Lightbourne. I was extremely impressed with his posture as a CEO and this logistics company that he has and what he's been doing over the years. I think it's a good fit. I have some significant questions. And I want to say to you politicians, if you're coming with me, I really want to talk with you. I want to talk to you about, not that you're coming here on a soapbox with a small violin to kind of, to cry on my shoulder like some therapist. That's not what it is. I want to have a real conversation with you because your aspirations, your articulations, your posture, and everything that has happened in terms of being able to lead towards politics and, sort of a significant nosedive in many instances for a great deal of you politicians, for a great deal of you. I don't believe that this is a lack of character, lack of will, lack of insight, lack of fortitude on your part. I believe that there are some elements at play. There are some things that you've met in place that kind of constrains you. And I don't know whether or not you want to talk about that. I want to. I want to know whether or not the idea that you had for enthusiasm, because, okay, let me tell you why. And I know your business personally because I work so close with my mother. I was an EMP, but I really work close with my mother, so I was able to see some things and listen to some things and understand some things very intimately. And a great deal of the things that she wanted to do for 8 Mile Rock, she was blocked by senior politicians who wanted everything to go through them, I'm sorry. They wanted everything to go through them. The questions, can I do this? Can you do this? So forth and so on. If that's a substantive person with seniority, we ended up fighting a lot of those fights unnecessarily. It was foolish. It was absolutely unnecessary. And just to be able to say that I'm the man, I can do this. Very stupid. Have you met some of that? Have you seen some of that? Are you fighting some of that? Are you in this kind of a position where your hands are tied because someone don't release something, baby, because they don't like you or whatever the case may be? Have you seen that? Because your potential and what I've seen you done as an individual, and we're talking about North Andros now, the potential of what I've seen him done, and as we amalgamate and look at these particular things, this guy is impressive. He truly is. And for 42 persons out of the constituents, right? Let's just be decent. Out of the constituency, for the 42 persons who are actually being able to come over here and say what they said about him, I feel like there's a disconnect. Now, something's happening here. I feel like there's a disconnect. And I just need to know, how do we connect these particular pieces? Let me take the telephone call. Call on the line. Go ahead.
Hey, how you doing, Alan?
I'm good, man. What's happening with you?
Everything good. So quickly, what I want to say is, right, when we look at these surveys, I think one of the things we have to be critical on, even when we use our sample size, we have to set certain criteria. For example, what does it mean to be satisfied with an MP? What is a thriving constituency? What are the expectations? Because a lot of these people, for example, we need to know if they understand what is democracy, what is capitalism, how does that affect the MP's capacity to enact his job and the expectations? Because so much of these people, whether we can't get a clear understanding of from these surveys if the MP is doing an adequate job when we have people who really don't understand the process.
But these are the same people who go in to vote.
Pardon me?
These are the same people who go in to vote. So if they don't have education enough and understanding enough to, when I ask them, are you satisfied? And they tell me, no. They carry that same sentiment into the voting box.
Exactly. But we looking at it, and you as a social pundit and a social commentator, you looking to upheave or to bring light or illuminate, right? The decisions that why they go in there and making these decisions and how to make adequate decisions or create policies. So as a social scientist, when you do this research, you want to reveal the mindset of people, not their satisfaction rate, because it could sway. You could do the same survey, say close to election, and these people get the people intoxicated, and then you look your survey sway in the next direction. Mm-hmm. So I'm saying is, we need to get to the crux of the thinking, and that's why we have to sit down and pause and structure questions that will give us an idea of the thought process.
Mm-hmm. I like that. I like what you're saying. I think even over the course of what I've done in the past, from Monday to now, I realize that there are some things that we need to be able to make modifications to ensure that we could lock it in and capture this. So let's use this as our beta test.
Your mind in the right, your heart in the right place, you know. But if you take some time and do some research, when people pose these type of social questions, these hypotheses and these surveys, and they do these statistical data, and they use their sample groups, the structure in which they ask these questions, they have groups of some of the most astute minds coming together to ask these questions so we could get an authentic or as close as possible reaction to these questions, so we could have a understanding at least to why we following the same repetitious path. And sometimes the surveys reveal, sometimes the researchers reveal something that you didn't even ask a question for. And that's the beauty of empirical data, and that's the beauty of scientific research from an observational standpoint or a research standpoint. So I'm saying continue, but I want to see you get some more minds together and structure some questions to give us a little more insight into the mindsets of our people, please.
I like that, man. I appreciate your telephone call, my brother. Thank you so very kindly for the encouragement. Thank you that you're listening in, and all those persons who've been able to call me over the past few days. Howard, keep on doing it. I think going forward, I'm going to make significant tweaks to this. So annually, you'll be able to hear this. And then when it comes to a position that, let's say hypothetically, every September, we decide to be able to do this. So with a new school year and sort of the celebration for the New Day administration, we'll take the time out to do this particular survey. So we'll ask those particular questions. And then we'll have a mid-year review. And in that mid-year review, we will have those particular things. Now, keep in mind, I don't have public domain money. Amen. I don't have Intel key money. Amen. This is something that I wanted to be able to get your input of. And so I'm leaning and hoping that you're honest enough to be able to do sort of internal reflection and make this sort of determination whether or not you're satisfied, whether or not I saw the MP, whether or not he or she is doing these particular things. I'm leaning on that. I'm leaning on that from you. And this is why we did the advertisement, and this is why we did all these things. And I'm hoping that as time grows, that we can find at least partnership that says, Howard, I want to take care of this for you. Yeah, because I can't spend all my wife money on these things. Jesus Christ, you wanted a woman to kill me? You wanted a woman to kill me? I can't. But I do want to have these kind of conversations with you and at least get our brain moving in a particular direction, okay? So let's look at this. In the last general election in the constituency of North Andros, and the Berry Islands, Leonardo Lightbourne received 2,727 votes. I think that's how much he got. Let me see. No, that's how much registered voters was in the particular constituency. The number of registered voters in the constituency was 2,727. 2,727. The number of voters who voted in that particular constituency was 2,126. 2,126 persons voted in that constituency. The percentage of voters who actually voted in that constituency was 78% of voters. 78% of voters voted in that particular constituency. And Leonardo Lightbourne, he got 1,181 votes. 1,181 votes for his 56% margin victory in that particular area. Let me take one more telephone call. Caller, go ahead.
Hey, Howard, what's up, man?
I'm good, man. What's up?
Let me ask you a question. With the exception of Anton and the fellow who trying to bring Shane Gibson back, how many PLP supporters call your show supporting the PLP?
Who fella trying to bring Shane Gibson back?
And I'm the fellow, if we bring Shane Gibson back, we could win that seat. Shane Gibson could win.
Okay, go ahead.
Sound like an elderly fellow.
No, I don't know. I don't know people's politics, unless they say.
But what I'm trying to say, right, even Anton is changing his tune on the PLP. Papa, hardcore PLP. Listen to what Papa been singing lately about the PLP. Sparky. Listen to Sparky tone about the PLP. So I've been following your poll since Monday, and I believe this is a clear indication how the BM and people feel about this administration on how they currently feel. I think the people just tired of the PLP.
We gotta have a deeper
conversation. Everybody is calling
this
and complaining about the PLP. I listen to your show.
We gotta have a deeper conversation.
With the exception of those two, how many people sing the PLP praises?
I don't think no one's really singing the PLP praises, but that ain't stopping them from pushing forward.
No, I understand that.
Now understand what I said. What I gather, right, of my research after I ingest all this information, what I gathered is that there may be a sentiment that they are indifferent with the current administration. However, it doesn't mean that there will be a shoe-in for the royal opposition. That's what I gathered. It doesn't
again,
say that they didn't. Okay, even if they don't want the PLP, the people are open and mindful enough to be able to deduce whether or not, and then I believe that in conversations like this will encourage persons, whether or not we're looking for the right person to put in place for leadership in our constituency.
Okay, point taken. But at the same time, we have to look at where we are now and who we have now. And where we are now and who we have now, people are frustrated.
I like what you're saying.
People are angry. People are tired. People are taxed out.
I like what you're saying.
The people are taxed out, and the people just want to see the PLP go on. Because what made me something significant that the Bahamian people have benefit from since this administration came in. Every other day is a new tax. NIB, gasoline just going up 25 cents. They say no, nothing on the water. But I guarantee you, within about a couple of weeks or before the year out, sometime before this administration leave, water going up.
Jesus
People who got water pump, they getting taxed on that.
Not a sick. Don't say that.
The government owned the airport in Grand Bahama. Why haven't the government dropped the taxes on the airport in Grand Bahama? They own the airport. They ain't got to go to the Port Authority. So you can't say the Port Authority got the taxes on the airport. Why are Grand Bahama airport taxes higher than Nassau or higher than the rest of the islands? People tired of this government. People frustrated. This government is taxing us. They got to go.
When we get back, we can talk about it. I appreciate your telephone call, guys. Quick commercial break. Get me back. Gonna be right back after this.
Go playing, bim. It make them feel like dancing. Roger, man.
Tired of banks forcing you to use technology to bank the way they want you to? Your convenience is important. So no matter what your banking needs, Commonwealth Bank's friendly staff are always available in branch for that personal one-on-one service. But when you choose technology, our online and mobile banking app offers you state-of-the-art functionality. The choice is yours. Commonwealth Bank. Bank the way you want.
The Whopper with cheese at Burger King Nassau has never tasted so good. It's made with 100% flame grilled beef that's juicier, topped with fresh ingredients as usual, and even fluffier buns. Get a regular Whopper with cheese combo for only $9, including VAT, and enjoy a Whopper that's bigger, better, and tastier. The only place to get your Whopper with cheese combo is at Burger King Nassau, where it's grill time anytime.
Love the show? Want to give your support? Become a sponsor today. Call 302-2300 for our rates and packages. That's 302-2300. Become a sponsor on Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
Excuse me for the interruption. Boy, come under a great reminder to say this coming Friday, and please come over the lawn. You went to the man number one sound around town. And it's a Friday.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen. Quick key observations that we want to be able to put on the table before we get out of here. I see your telephone calls, and you got 3 minutes, so don't fight me. On 1 o'clock, we don't have anyone that we're going to be able to do so. Right off the gate, on 1 o'clock, you can be able to give me a call, okay? So we'll be able to take it like that, and you and I will talk right through until 2 o'clock as we continue to be able to dissect these things and move forward, okay? So let's do this like this. So key observations. Now, we're still dealing with North Andros and the Berry Islands, and this is the Honorable Leonardo Lightbourne, who I think is now this is just me. I'm looking at this man personally. I'm looking at his business acumen. I'm looking at his application. I'm looking at his steadfast focus and commitment. I'm looking at the way that he, as an individual, found himself in good proximity to even be acknowledged for an opportunity to get in politics as a young man. I'm looking at these things. I'm looking at all of this stuff, okay? I'm looking at it. Now, I haven't done the significant research, and I don't know the information to know whether or not Lightbourne is a strong name in the constituency of North Andros. I haven't done that. I do know that Lightbourne is a Turks Island name. I do know that, right? But there are contingents of other persons, just like when I tell people Grant, they say, oh, there's a contingent of Grant in Andros. There's a contingent of grants in West End. There's a contingent of grants in Luther, right? But I also know that there are grants in Turks and Caicos. I only say that to say, I don't know whether or not his last name and his family's effort in the constituency, in the community, played an effect on that particular opportunity. We do know that North Andros historically has been a PLP seat. We do know that the commitment that Andros, North and South, has made has relentlessly been for the PLP. We do know that. We've seen that over the course of time. Let's make some key observations about him. It says that the high percentage of participants, which is 69.05%, voted in the last general election, indicating that there's a strong political engagement. This is in North Andros and the Berry Islands. However, there is a slight decrease in intentions to vote in the upcoming elections. 61.9%, possibly due to dissatisfaction with current political representation, indicated that they do not intend to vote. Okay, now watch me. The majority of the participants fall within the age range of 25 to 45. They represent 64.29%. This is consistent with what we have seen since Monday, that the majority of persons are in that sort of the season of their life that they are awakening to social issues. They are awakening to a very clear understanding. They are awakening out of this sort of a stupor of immaturity into a very clear understanding that, okay, now I'm a father, I'm a mother, I'm a husband, I'm a wife, and I have a responsibility for creating legacy and leaving something for my children. Jesus, God, these politicians ain't worth nothing. I don't have nothing. You couldn't necessarily see that as a child. No one taught you these things. You had to learn this. And this sort of illumination and opening in our eyes happens between this age range, 26 to 45. There's 64%, indicating that the constituency has a considerable number of middle-aged individuals who may prioritize issues such as job opportunities, healthcare, and community development above other stuff. And says there is a near unanimous sentiment that the MP has not been visible or accessible in the constituency, with 97.62% of participants indicating this view. When we get back at 1 o'clock, I want to be able to give you some more information on this, right? So all participants have reported no improvements in the constituency since the last general election, indicating a strong perception of stagnation and lack of development in efforts. The unanimous dissatisfaction with the MP's performance 100% in addressing these key issues, as ministerial role or his portfolio, and the overall effectiveness reflects a severe disconnect between the MP's actions and the expectation of the constituents. This data highlights significant challenges for the current MP in North Andros and the Berry Islands constituency, including visibility, community engagement, and the need for tangible improvements in addressing key community issues. The widespread dissatisfaction signals a potential risk for the MP in retaining the seat in the future election. When we get back, we can dive deeper into it. Let's get into news and be right back after this.
Excuse me for the interruption. Boy, come under the great reminder to say, this coming Friday, and please come over the lawn. You went to the man number one sound round town. And it's a Friday evening, bim! The people them tired of working. Lord, them hear the disco playing, bim! It make them feel like dancing. Ain't no summer set. Brita will be greater with the disco operator. 5-18 and a 6-tweeter. This is digital sweeter.
This is Guardian Radio, your station for up-to-the-minute news, intelligent, interactive, and engaging conversation. 96.9 FM.
Excuse me for the interruption. Boy, come under the great reminder to say, this coming Friday, and please come over the lawn. You went to the man number one sound round town. And it's a Friday evening, bim! The people them tired of working. Lord, them hear the disco playing, bim! It make them feel like dancing. Ain't no summer set. Britta will be greater with the disco operator. 5 and a 6 feet.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen. 96.9 FM radio. Howard Grant in your company, the foundation, live in full effect, being able to talk the way that we are. Just kind of wrapping up on North Andros MP, North Andros and the Berry Islands, none other than the Honorable Leonardo Lightbourne. I have a personal view of him. I believe that he's doing well. I haven't necessarily seen him vocal, but I know that he's working in those particular steads. I can see that the government is content with him and giving him such a portfolio in terms of being able to see proximity of what's happening in the Ministry of Works. So this was just sort of a light work thing. This is something that, okay, hey, listen, we'd like to see you being able to do something in this particular state, in this space. And so he's done well in many instances, but the 42 persons that we've seen that has come to our poll has indicated to us that they're indifferent. They don't believe that he is. We haven't seen him. He's not necessarily effective in these particular areas. And 60-some% of them said that we ain't even voting. This is the information that we've gotten from North Andros. Now we can do this again. Now, I don't know if we can do it again this year, okay? But we will do this again, right? And maybe we take a poll to see when to do it, right? But I'm thinking that January, God spare our lives, the new year could bring new opportunities. Next year, God spare our lives, we will be in full campaign mode. This country will be in full campaign mode. That people will be enraged with me. Right? How you can put these things out there, you're trying to win, blah, 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 whatever. But I got a job to do. You got go do your job. Let me do mine. Don't fight me. Let me do my job. Amen? This is what I've decided my job to be. Okay? And let me do my job. Don't fight me. Okay? So this is the kind of conversations that we want to have. I have my own personal opinion on every one of these men and women. Based upon information that I've amalgamated over the course of time, but I want to be professional with you. That's why I put the poll out there. I'd like to know your sentiments. I'd like to be able to forge those sentiments with the sentiments of our brothers and sisters and find the contrast, find the sort of the middle ground, the intersect that exists in this particular space. And let's talk about that. Let's talk about neutrality. Let's talk about the one thing that we've identified on both sides. I agree with you on this and I agree with you on that. This fellow or this person need to do this. Let's be able to kind of wrap this up and talk about it. Just a few more things I want to be able to read. It says, Leonardo Lightbourne, currently serving as the Member of Parliament for North Andros and the Berry Island, is a relatively new face in the Bahamian politics, holding the additional capacity of Parliamentary Secretary. As a businessman and a community leader, his entry into politics represents the Progressive Liberal Party's, PLP's, strategy to introduce fresh and dynamic leadership. His background as a business owner and a community development advocate brings a particular and action-oriented approach to governance. However, based on the recent survey data, Lightbourne faces significant challenges in changing the negative perception within his constituency, as dissatisfaction and lack of confidence in his performance have been overwhelmingly voiced by the residents. This is what the assessment is, right? And the conclusion, Leonardo Lightbourne faces a daunting task of overcoming widespread dissatisfaction and perceptions of inaccessibility. While the background of a businessman and a community advocate often offers strengths, he must pivot towards more visible, tangible engagement to win back the confidence of his constituents. By focusing on economic initiatives, improving community infrastructure, and enhancing communication, he can change the negative perception and align himself more closely with the constituency's needs. His success in doing so will ultimately determine whether his tenure marks the beginning of a meaningful progress or a short-lived experiment in youth-related political representation. Bananas. Guys, give me a call, 323-623-2325, 325-4259, anywhere from the family of islands, 242-300-5720. Hit me up, 422-4796. Caller on the line with us live. Go ahead.
Howard,
Hi.
the question you offered, you'll be seeing the MP. I don't think it's necessary. I don't think you need to see MP. He has a portfolio too. He has a family, and once you make yourself available at headquarters at monthly meeting, well, you can't see everybody constituency. That doesn't make no sense.
How long you work? How long you work? You ever work for somebody?
No.
You never work for nobody?
No.
Okay, so there's a contractual requirement every time you work for someone. Now, whether that is in a managerial capacity, supervisor, or a line staff, you have to render your labor at the place that they indicate. That's a contract. Leonardo Lightbourne and every other MP has signed a contract with the constituents, and we gave them a vote. They have a responsibility to show up.
But they do have a Monday meeting, right?
We ain't worried about the Monday meeting. We worrying about you to work on a day-to-day basis, and we could be able to say, yeah, man, he's always here. That's like that in Paulie. Yeah, he's always here. I know he is. And we could be able to access you.
That's my part about it.
I hear what you say. I appreciate your telephone call, my brother. I'm not going to fight you. But I don't think we should continue to genuflect to the concept and idea that these things are unnecessary. Well, Jesus Christ, you got to go to work, eh? You got to show up to your job, swipe in, or write in the government log book before they put the red line on you, or you got to show up. You don't think he got to show up? He got to show up. That's all the question was. Now, listen. I used to work in a hotel years ago, and when they put a schedule out, if something you got to do on certain days or whatever the case may be, you could swap out with some people and always have representation in that space. So you may not necessarily see Howard's face, but the work getting done. There needs to be strong representatives. There needs to be strong volunteers. There needs to be a strong presence in your constituency, even when you ain't there. Amen? And the question is whether or not you're seeing that. Next telephone call. Go ahead. Call on the line. Go ahead. Next call. Call on the line. Go ahead.
Yeah, what are you doing?
I'm good, man. What's happening?
Well, listen, I just stepped off the plane from Andros, man. I just stepped off the plane from a week stay in Andros.
Mm-hmm.
And listen here. Well, basically, you better take your armor car with cash when you get down there, because you can't get no cash.
Okay, I'm writing this down. So no ATM, no bank.
The only thing you could probably get is if you go on island like a cone and you could tell someone to send you something if you gamble. I don't gamble, and you know. And you have to plan. You have to, when you go down there, you have to plan. Okay. You can't just go on the whim, because you'll be in trouble, eh?
Okay.
Gas is almost $8 a gallon.
Mm-hmm.
Really? Gas is almost $8 a gallon in some places down there.
Mm-hmm.
And Andros Radio, you know, Andros, the plane take off and the plane land.
Well, when I was in Mangrove Key 4 years ago, there was almost $8 a gallon.
You know? You know, but I mean, I guess with the, you know, you could see infrastructure in terms of roads, and you're talking about 10 years of trying to get road work done over there. So obviously, places like going into Red Base, they have the infrastructure where people get nice infrastructure, but that's been a process for that's nothing new. It's been continued, I guess. Bamsey, that's a topic on its own. You need to do a show on Bamsey.
Mm-hmm.
You need to them buildings. You know, probably big building structure. They probably need to reconstruct now. How long they've been sitting there, and I think they're trying to get that off the ground.
In poor condition.
Yeah, it's you know, it's like a place. I've been there so much times, but it's nothing that's been really done in there for decades, man.
What they saying from a political standpoint on the ground? How they feel about?
I mean,
talk to me.
Both Lundy in the south and this guy Lightbourne in the north. I mean, it looks like, I don't know. People just look like they don't have nothing to do. it don't look. I have. It's no sense of community down there. To be honest, you know, I was like, what's going on in this country? When I was down in Andros, but the place has so much potential, man. So much potential. I enjoyed it. You know, if some attention could be placed on it, I think where we mess up and to fault of Bahamian, sometimes we feel that, hey, if we get a businessman as an MP, it could change certain things. No, man, you have millionaires who's MPs in these particular settlements. I think everybody is a minister now. Nobody is in these communities. Sometimes I think as Bahamians we need to select somebody who are passionate in our community and just go in there and speak on behalf of the people, because whether you get a millionaire or not, you look like nothing changing. So you might as well select somebody who can go in there and fight on behalf and speak to the needs of your community.
That's crazy. I appreciate
I'm telling you.
I appreciate you, man. You're good and decent. I appreciate your telephone call. You gave me a lot of insight today, all the way from Andres, and he's indicated to me that you can't get no cash, get no ATM down there. The gas is significantly high. We know that it existed. Barmsey's not doing well. It's in poor condition. Not a sense of community, but it has great potential. I like how you ended with that. It has great potential, but you don't get a sense of community. I like that. And this is what's on the table. This is what's on the table. We connected all islands, brothers and sisters. The 15 family islands, that's the family island seats that's out there. We're bringing it right here to the 24. We're talking the way that we're talking. Let's do this. Lines are wide open. Next telephone call. Go ahead. Go ahead. Hello. You're listening to the radio or you're listening to me? Next telephone call. Go ahead.
Hello?
Hi, how you doing?
Yeah, I'm okay. I'm Don. I'm calling this on reference to North Andros.
Yeah, let me hear it.
Sorry?
Go ahead.
Yeah, that fella ain't doing nothing down there, man. The airport, the little small charter airport, mash up. If it starts to rain there, the bathrooms don't have no toilet tissue in it. If it starts to rain, that's it. Dog eat your lunch. I mean, all they have to do is put one little, they try to move a little container they had there, a little bit to make it look like they're doing something. You know how they do it. When it's time for election, then they can do it again. Make it look like they're doing something. They ain't doing crap down there. He have a little party now and again, give some people some, let somebody do some cooking and give somebody a cup of coffee collect. I don't drink, so I don't need to run. I don't like to eat food because they food bad anyhow. So they ain't doing nothing down there.
So
he's a fella from Ministry of Works. I still can't get no work done.
Now hold on before you go further. So you're calling from down there and you're saying there ain't nothing really happening down there. What are the people saying? Are they still with him or they are going elsewhere?
My brother, you've been in this long time. You seem to be a very studious and wise individual. People are stupid. I ain't gonna say no other way. They don't care if you're doing it or not. You give them a couple collect, and that's all they want. A couple pieces of fried fish. Some of them will still want for you. Or they wouldn't want it all.
So fish and collect.
What we need to do is get rid of these people that choose people from the area who really understand the area, so what's going on there. And so they can get things wicked past, because the adjunct is the caller before me said has a lot of potential, but nobody doing nothing. A lot of potential over there. Potential so much. If they're really serious about the whole situation, all they need to do is have some fast ferries that goes back and forth. 2 fast ferries that goes there in the morning, some fast ferries that goes there in the evening, and I guarantee you will even move there, because it only can take about 45 minutes to go to fast ferry from here to North Andros heading west. So therefore, you can live in Andros and work in Nassau. You understand? So the housing program, the housing problem will go down right away. We will have that problem because we can be able to put houses there. They don't want to do nothing. They're just foolish with a bunch of foolishness. Got us like a bunch of cows.
I appreciate your telephone call. You're a good, decent man. I appreciate your telephone call. The people from Andros told me when there was this sort of a conversation about the potential of people coming to move to Andros. We bring no Nassau criminals over here. You think you want to come thief in your things? None of my doors closed in Andros. I don't close my door. When there's Nassau people come over here, I got to lock up everything. This is what you said. Now you're saying come back. You got to make up your mind. You got to make up your mind. Let me take the next telephone call. Go calling on the line. Go ahead.
Hello.
Hey, what's up, Sparky?
Hey, right here, but something must be wrong with his real telephone. He sounds so distant. You know, Howard, when we talk about the islands like Andros, like the gentleman just said, the potential and so forth, I had an experience with Andros, and Cargill Creek. I worked in Central Cargill Creek one time. I managed a fishing lodge, Cargill Creek Fishing Lodge. And it appears to me that the people in Andros don't want it to change, you know. Because I saw so much potential over there, but it's like, I just don't understand why for so many years it just stays the same. It's the biggest island in the entire Bahamas. It has more land than anything else, more places to grow everything, but everybody migrates to the capital, which is, I think, 28 miles from New Providence to Morgan's Bluff is the closest point, I think. Only 28 miles. And it seems that when you go over there, people just want it to stay the same. And I don't understand the reason why it's like that, because if you notice, there's a lot of MPs that come from the Family Islands. They were born on these Family Islands. Then they migrate to New Providence, whether they came here to go to get a higher education and higher schooling and tertiary. Then they go off maybe to university, and when they come back, they don't go back to their own island where they were born. The mommy and daddy was born, grandpa them was born. They come back to New Providence, where they try to find a house on Cable Beach, Vinton, San Souci, somewhere else in New Providence. Then they meet somebody from another Family Island, and they end up in the House of Assembly. And once they get there, the only time they're going back to their own island is regatta time, Miss Molly dead, somebody getting married, or somebody will have a baby born. They go back down there to hear the people, or when it's time for election and campaign time, then they go back there. But they don't go back to the islands to live. They end up in New Providence. So what I'm asking Howard, who's going to build the Family Islands if the people from the Family Islands don't stay home and build it up? Now, I know you got the right to come to New Providence, the capital, because you are a Bahamian. But the only thing you can say in the Family Islands, with all those beautiful beachfront properties and everything lying east and west of them islands, the prettiest turquoise water, it's the foreigners going on there and buying them up. You still there, Howard?
I read you.
The foreigners go to the Family Islands because they don't want to be in New Providence. They want to park their yachts outside their beachfront property, and they want to be in them nice, pristine, beautiful, calm, quiet Family Island, just relaxing.
Sparky. I appreciate your telephone call, Sparky. I gotta let you go. The line's lit up. I just want to answer your question because you put it on the table. I want to say this. Sparky, you are 70-some years old. You always talk to us about your age and your commitment and the things that you've done over the course of time, and I want to be able to thank you even for your contribution to society and what you've been doing. But as a 70-some-year-old man, you have to know that there is a trend in our country. The majority of us come from nothing. Grammy Sim used to say, picking peas out of mess. We come from nothing. They used to also say, you don't have a pot to piss in. This is the sentiment that existed about who we are from a traditional standpoint in this country. The fight and the idea of what has happened on Burma Road, the fight and the idea for this independence and this acceptance of self-governance has placed us in the position where all of us want to do better than where we came from. Jesus God Almighty, Sparky, why do you believe that people get all this education, information, and access and has a desire to move forward and decide to move backward? They aren't right here. The Golden Girls are saying to you after they have reached significant success and national acclaim in this country with promises from governments gone. Men and women who served in the governments that they got these promises from dead. And they've gotten promises and never was able to set a foot on those particular properties. People want to move forward. They envision something for their children and their future. But you want them to go to a space where they don't have no infrastructure. Where historically, after 40 years of commitment, after 50 years in these particular positions, they don't have nothing of natural comfort to be able to take care of their environment. Why you want to send everybody back to where they come from? But people only want to move forward. The truth of the matter is that many of us, like the Haitians, we have no desire to be in Nassau. They want to go to Canada or America. But you got to settle. Because being in the top 3 ain't bad. This is where we are in this country. I think we need to have a different conversation and shift it from why you ain't getting back to what do we need to do to get you back home. Quick break, be right back after this.
Make them feel like dancing, Roger man. And me see you black at the microphone chanting, bim, chanting, bim, chanting. You black at the microphone chanting.
Do you have uncontrollable debt? Are you ready to make that move to Fidelity for a stress-free future? These loans have a built-in savings plan that pays you unbeatable interest. Ask about our debt consolidation loans today. Call 356-7764.
Fidelity, we're good for you.
It's time to upgrade the way you enjoy at-home entertainment. Alive Fiber is here. Enjoy all your favorite channels and streaming apps, all at lightning-fast internet speeds with affordable bundles, and it's only a click away. Visit www.alivefiber.com to sign up now. Stay connected, live your life. It's good to be alive.
The Grand Bahama News is available every Tuesday in the Nassau Guardian. You can buy your local paper at Freeport Convenience Stores, Western Bakery, DeGregory's Fine Foods, and Bellevue Gifts. Now is the time to reach your Grand Bahama Market with affordable packages, including print and digital. Call GB News Sales Representative Kavandre at 822-6717 or message him on WhatsApp for ad rates. Classified ads are now available every Tuesday as well. Keep up with everything Grand Bahamian every Tuesday in the Nassau Guardian.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
Excuse me for the interruption. Boy, come and a quick reminder to say this coming Friday, and please come over the lawn. You went to the man number 1 town around town. And it's a Friday evening. Bim!
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen. Grateful to be in your company. Grateful to have this kind of a conversation with you. I am happy that I get to talk with you every day. I just want to be honest with you. I realize that a lot of us as men, that we can spend an entire lifetime searching for purpose, searching for where we fit in. And we know when we get there. You know, I had a flat this morning, and the guy came quickly, right? He came quickly to change the flat. I just stopped right at the bank. And I called him. I say, hey, listen, I saw you guys do. He said, yeah, I can be right there. 15 minutes. He came, and he was able to take care of it. Now, he brought the wrong size tire, right? I have 275, 60/20. He brought 265, right? So just like a pinch difference. But I said, well, if you can do that, you got to put this in the back. You know, I start to try to figure out how we can fix this. He said, no, sir. Somebody can bring the next tire for me right now. It's no problem. I can do that. And you know what he said? He said, you know, I take this job very serious. That's what he said. He said, I take this job very serious, and I love what I do. And I just want to be professional because I believe that every vehicle should be able to have good tires and set up in a proper manner. This is what the young man said to me this morning. This is what he said to me. I got to shout him out. He did very good. This is from Tire Clinic. Roadside services, they're available on Fire Trail and Gladstone Road. Their number is 812-3916, 812-3916. And when the young man said that to me, I recognized that many of us don't find a space in our life where we love what we do. We don't do it with the sort of passion and a very clear perspective and understanding that our contribution, though it may not be seen by all, it means something to this one person. Every day I take an assessment and I try to travel through my mind of how I even got in this space. There's some people who go to school for this. Like there's some people who set a course of their life for this. And I am so truly, honestly grateful for an opportunity to be able to engage with you every day about matters of the heart, matters that matter to the average Bahamian person, to the businessman, to the family man, to the young man who's looking for love, for life. I love to have these conversations with you. I don't want to have a superficial conversation about nothing. I don't have the time for it. I just don't. I don't have time to talk garbage with you. I don't. I want to talk about how we could find a true sense of growth and development. And I want to say to you, I'm truly appreciative for you taking the time out to go and do the poll. 800 and some people did the poll by now. So I thank you for doing the poll. I thank you for caring enough to share with me. I do. And I want to thank you for calling and thank you for sending your text. This is a serious thing, that you are in tune with what's happening in your community, and we could be able to find synergy for growth and development as a people. Now, we may not necessarily all agree at the same time, but we can find that intersection, that middle ground for growth and development when we engage each other. And so I'm grateful to you for being able to take the time out to be able to do this. Now, since Monday, we had a good conversation. I see the lines. I'm going to come to you right now. We talked about Mikhail Barnaby, Mount Moriah. We talked about Southern Shores, Leroy Major. We did South Beach on Tuesday. We did South Beach, which is Barker's Roll. We did Long Island on Tuesday also, which is Adrian Gibson. We did Kirk Cornish yesterday, and we did Iram Lewis. Today we're dealing with Leonardo Lightbourne. For the most part, everyone got poor ratings. Can I say that? For the most part, everyone got poor ratings. Okay? We went through the history of these particular things. We went through the background. We went through all these things. For the most part, everyone got poor ratings. A D at best. There's no one coming out looking pristine. Okay? And that's not a horrible thing. This is only a midterm review. There's still opportunities to be able to do these things. So you can't condemn people to death just yet. This is just something that we're doing here in the foundation to be able to get persons in tune with the historic aspect and concepts and ideas factually about what's happening in these constituencies, as opposed to being able to talk hearsay. Let's take a telephone call. Call on the line. Go ahead.
Brother Grant.
Hey, what's up, my brother?
Everything good, man. First of all, let me say this first. Don't cut me, please. First of all, let me say this. Anytime you're waiting on the phone while Sparky talking, and if you on a cell phone, you better pray your cell phone running with a car battery, because that battery can dead. You better have car battery on them cell phone when Sparky on. But another thing, this thing with the members of parliament, I thought they supposed to come in person.
Well, I invite them. I send them letters, and who come. Who don't come, I don't stop no show.
What you need to don't come. You got to repeat it a couple times while their slaughter's on to let the people know that there are no show.
Well, you can hear there isn't no show.
Right now, I said, I thought you're supposed to have two people there today.
No, only one person we're dealing with today. And I've been trying to.
Showed up?
No, he didn't show up. This is the Honorable Leonardo Lightbourne. I searched him down. I sent him email.
From North Andres?
From North Andres. I sent him email. I sent him Facebook. I send message. I drop off letter. I do this. I do that. Man, Jesus, how much would I going to run down people?
See, real politicians can't take embarrassment.
Well, let them don't come.
You talk to them couple. You call their name off a couple times when they don't show up. Now you had Barnaby and
Leroy Major. They did good.
Leroy Major on Tuesday.
Yeah.
Right?
Barker's indicated to me that he couldn't come.
I'm going to deal with Tuesday first because I was trying to get you from Tuesday.
Okay, go ahead.
You had one lawn, a grass, and one prickle patch. The prickle patch got to be vetoed, and you figure who. Now, the other day, Barker's Road supposed to come on, and who else?
Barker's Road and Adrian Gibson.
All right, same thing again. One lawn. Well, Adrian Gibson can come or go. He ain't got no more nomination. You ain't got to worry about that. He know that himself. He'll have the rub down and baby oil, cooking oil, gas,
I don't know if that's.
car
I don't
oil,
know if that's. Watch
all kind of oil.
me. Watch me. Watch me.
So he can't get no more nomination.
No, you can't say can't.
No, I'm telling you.
You can't say can't.
Okay.
You could say it is unlikely based upon where we are right now, but you can't say can't. You have to remember, we are not dealing with the dynamics of the city of Nassau. We are dealing with the dynamics of a homegrown flavor of a constituency that know each other very well.
Yes, but watch this. Don't forget Peter Turnquist and being up there, you know.
It don't matter. They didn't want Peter.
Peter Turnquist from who would run in East End, who used to be the deputy leader.
Yes.
You see, he was up there, you know. He was up there doing some work, you know. The people was gravitating them, you know.
Yeah, watch me now. I can say this.
You see what Dr. Dwayne Sand did as the chairman? Check up Hiram Lewis and check where Hiram Lewis is.
Now, hold on now.
Dwayne Sand's trying to secure the Long Island seats for him.
Hold on now. Watch me. Watch me. There is conversations and allegations that says that, yeah, we hear there was some people, a lot of people tried to go down there. A lot of light-skinned men tried to show up in Long Island. A lot of them, right? Faces that we know. And they've tried to be able to, I understand that they've been soundly rejected from Long Island. Soundly.
This is what I'm gathering.
And now I just want to be decent. I just want to be decent as I do this. Now,
Peter Turnquist had a good chance.
And every single time they introduced themselves to Adrian Gibson, he was always there. He showed up, he touched them because the people have not rejected Adrian Gibson. They have not.
Maybe you're not, you know.
I'm telling you they haven't.
I am a betting man. I will bet you Adrian Gibson don't get
that ain't here or there. That ain't here or there. That's party politics. We talking about constituency and people politics.
If Adrian Gibson goes back up there and run as an independent, and the FNM
no.
puts a candidate in there, the PLP will win Long Island. If they put the red about it, see, you got to put the right person back in there.
No. Well, when we get to certain other spaces, we will mention her name. But right now,
okay. But let me say one more thing before I go now. Who's supposed to come yesterday?
Yesterday we had Hiram Lewis, who I thought was going to show up, you know, who I thought would have at least called in with me. Hiram is my guy.
He should have.
Who I thought was going to show up. I sent him all the things and so forth and so on, but I sure he know that I will ask him whether or not he can get a nomination from the FNM. And he didn't show up. And so we had a formal conversation about these particular things.
So they know. Who was supposed to have come?
Yeah, he was supposed to come yesterday.
Just him one?
No, well, I spoke about Kirk Cornish, who I have not been able to ever get in contact with.
Well, that's the next prickle patch.
Okay.
You got to veto the prickle patch if you want the lawn to grow. The prickle can kill the grass.
Oh, somebody text me right now and say, you always indicating that Shane Gibson should come back.
Shane Gibson going in Auckland, cricket.
You see that? You see that? You see, you're speaking with a forked tongue. You content.
I said Shane Gibson is going into Auckland's Cricket Island and Long Key. I never said nothing, but he now going.
Hold on, now watch me. You are content with Shane Gibson coming back, but everybody else is prickle patch. You had a little issue.
But I am saying, I'm talking that prickle with Shane had done dead. Prickle and dead, that can't stick nobody.
You spray Roundup on it. You spray Roundup.
Stick prickles to the sticking out.
You spray Roundup on it. Anyway, I gotta let you go. I appreciate your telephone call. I thank you so very kindly for that. Let me take the telephone call. Call on the line. Go ahead. Call on the line. Go ahead. 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259. Anywhere from the family of islands. 242-300. 5720. It says, Mr. Grant, Andros is a large mass. I can produce and grow. It's larger than Trinidad. If you can jumpstart Grand Bahamas, the rest of the islands will grow. If at least 4 of the larger islands of the Bahamas you will get up, I suppose. You will want 10,000 cars leave Nassau. Okay. I really don't know how you structure this. I'm going to try to fix it. I want to understand what you're saying. If at least 4 of the larger islands in the Bahamas get going, you will have 10,000 cars leave Nassau, which is 10,000 people. Okay, that's what he was trying to say. He put a lot of asterisks in this thing. Okay, here we go. It says, is there a designated think tank that acknowledges its contributors in this country? Howard and many other Bahamians want to share ideas to fix this country. I know you tired talking too. It's a text that's coming through. Let's take a text, quick commercial break and be right back after this.
Play. I didn't want to rock the game. Them want to step with them, can't sit down, I'm saying.
You try to rest, but roll with the best. For all your printing needs, there ain't no one better, no. For posters and banners, magazines and flyers. For window decals, greeting cards and newsletters. No job too big and there's no job too small. You name it, we can print it, just give us a call. Let Print Masters bring your masterpiece to life.
Located in the Nassau Guardian Building, telephone 302-2361.
Nassau, are you ready for November 2nd? Because we are ready!
Hi, this is KB, and I will be performing live.
Break and Scrape Explosion. Reloaded.
This is the one and only Don John letting y'all know that yours truly will be performing.
Oh yeah, this your boy D-Mac, and I'll be performing live. Keep the vibe alive. Music Group and Alpha Sounds Promotion invites you to the biggest Rake and Scrape concert of the year.
And you thought they was gonna leave me out?
Saturday, November 2nd at Super Club Breezes Ground.
It's me, Mama D. This is Wilfred Solomon. Yo, it's your boy Ron. It's your boy Elliot from the New Breed Band.
The biggest artist of the 242.
It's your boy Shine 242. Hey, it's Sherrod Taylor. It's your boy Johnny K. Falcon Sugar. It's your boy DJ Rev.
Nah, Funky D.
This is your girl Nishi Out Us, aka Miss Loose Me.
Hey there, this is Freak on Beat.
Hey, this is Cheeto D, and I will be performing live.
Hey, it's me, Julian Believe.
Tickets available at the Beauty Shack and BahamasEtickets.com. The countdown is on. Rake and Scrape Explosion. Best of the best.
Great news! Ron's Electric Motors' new location on Cowpen Road, right next to Island Luck, is open Saturdays and Sundays. So for those needing repairs on electric motors, generators, welding machines, water pumps, battery chargers, electric lifts, transformers, and power tools, Ron's Cowpen Road location can have you up and running on weekends. Don't forget, you can still visit Ron's Electric Motors on Wolf Road and Claridge Road, and now Ron's new location on Cowpen Road. Dial 356-0249 or 323-5267.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
Excuse me for the interruption. Boy, come under the great reminder to say this coming Friday, and please come over the lawn. You went to the man number one town round town. And it's a Friday evening. Bim! The people them tired of working. Lord, them hear the disco play.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen. The Foundation with Howard Grant, just being able to chop these things down, having a good conversation about where we are and where we're going. And just let me be able to kind of lay out what we're going to be able to expect next week. I just want to be decent with you, okay? I've gotten one confirmation for October 8th next week. One confirmation for October 8th next week. West Grand Bahama and Bimini. My good cousin Kingsley Smith is going to be sitting with me next week. One conversation I have confirmed. Oh, no, I lied to you. Two confirmations confirmed. Two confirmations confirmed for next week. On Monday, we have St. Anne's Adrian White. To Adrian White and all those persons that live in St. Anne's, I don't know if this makes a difference to you. We know that historically you've moved in a particular direction, but we'd still like to hear from you in terms of your input for the MP, the current position, and what are your expectations moving forward. We'd like to hear from you, okay? So far, only 4 persons from St. Anne's has taken the poll. 4 persons from St. Anne's has taken the poll. Only 4 persons. So you can go down there to the foundation242.com, the foundation242.com, the foundation242.com, all one word. Just squeeze it together. All one word, the foundation242.com. You click on that, it'll pop up. You'll see the foundation. You'll see my logo. You'll see enter your WhatsApp. It'll say something that says take the poll. It's just a circle with like a rectangle running through it. It says take the poll. Click on that. Click right on that. It says take the poll. You click on that. Click. As you take the poll and go through that, you fill out the information, we can be able to see it. I want to see more persons from St. Anne's. On Monday, we're going to have St. Anne's. And we're also going to have North Eleuthera. We had an opportunity to be able to speak with Petty. Sylvanus Petty, we had an opportunity to be able to speak with him. He gave me his number and everything. I want to know whether or not he's also the Deputy House Speaker. I want to know whether or not there's a possibility for him to be able to come with me. My very good friend who I haven't heard from in a very long time, I'd love him to come and sit with me. This is Nassau Village. A great deal of people have taken the poll for Nassau Village. If you're in Nassau Village, October 8th, we're going to be doing that, okay? So on the 8th, we can have Jamal Strawn and Kingsley Smith on the 8th. We'd like Jamal to come in studio with us if he's available. On the 9th, we're going to have John Pinder II from Central and South Abaco. John Pinder II. Now, I gave him the letter. I shook his hand. I commended him on what I saw with his stuff online, and I extended the opportunity to be able to come with us. I left him my number and everything. I haven't heard back from him. I don't know whether or not he's going to come and sit with me. Bain and Grant Town is also going to be on the 9th. Bain and Grant Town will be on the 9th. Okay? I see this number. Keep calling me, guys. I'm on air. I can't answer your telephone call until after 2 o'clock, so please forgive me, okay? And then also, Kwesi Thompson. We're going to be dealing with you on the 10th. And Leslia Bryce. Leslia Bryce is going to be on the 10th, okay? That's Seabreeze. And then the last thing, as we wrap up the week, we're going to have Lisa Ramming from Marathon and Leon Lundy from Mangrove Key. Let me take a telephone call. Call on the line. Go ahead.
How you doing, Mr. Grant?
I'm good, man. What's happening with you?
All is well. It's been a while. Hanchel here.
Hey, how you doing? What's happening, Angel?
Right here, brother. What's up?
Everything good, man. What's happening with you?
I see you got a whole lineup, man. You really busy.
Yeah, man. I'm dealing with everybody. Constituency. Let me say it like that.
I love it. I see how you said that. So I was listening and say some persons didn't show up.
Yeah, well, I ain't gonna fight you if you don't show up. That don't mean I ain't got your information.
Yeah. But, you know, it's a duty call for the people to want to know what's going on because, you know, that's what the media is all about.
Yeah.
Public discourse.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so it's unfortunate, but at the end of the day, you know, when you got Bowleg on, so I can listen in.
Which Bowleg?
Mario
Bowleg. Let me see. I'm looking through my thing right now. I do have. Did I already do him? No, I didn't do him. You said. Let me look through my thing. Let me look through it, and I can tell you exactly which day we have everything later. Okay, Mario Bowleg. I can see him right here. It's going to be Garden Hills, Mario Bowleg, October 15th.
I'll be listening in.
October 15th.
October 15th. That's a big day.
Yeah. So I look forward to hearing from you, my brother.
Yes, sir.
All right. Thank you so much. We get the next telephone call. Call on the line. Go ahead.
Hey, Howard.
Hey, what's up? What's up?
Right up, man. Good afternoon. How you doing?
I'm good, man. What's happening with you?
Excellent. I'm holding Howard. I wanted to say that I had a conversation after your show yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
I reached out and I had a conversation with the Member of Parliament for North Abaco,
Mm-hmm.
right? And he was able to...
You could reach him and I can't reach him. Boy, Jesus, I got to call you. Okay, go ahead.
But I'm holding Howard.
I tried to reach him.
You think you could reach my people before I reach them?
But I can't reach him point blank. And I didn't. You bang a line. Okay, go ahead. I can fight you. I'm not gonna fight
you. So just if I could just take two minutes and go down some of what he explained to me.
Mm-hmm.
Right. He said to me that in Grand Key, he completed the administrative block.
Anton, I can't take this. This can't be on the record. This could be a conversation between you and I, but from an official standpoint, the Member of Parliament should speak with clarity for the people that he represents. I just want to be decent.
Yeah, but you have persons who are calling in as well, right?
No. I'm saying you structure it as though you're speaking on behalf of him.
No, I'm telling you what he told me. That's it.
Okay, go ahead.
Yes. And so he completed the administrative block, Grand Key, right? He would have cleaned the dump site and installed an incinerator, right? In Grand Key, they are no longer pumping from a well, right? They've also installed a reverse osmosis system in order to provide clean water, right? Of course, on the main line, he explained that they completed the dock in Crown Haven, right? Which was damaged for 2 years after Hurricane Dorian. They repaired the constituency dock in Foxtown, restored the community dock in Mount Hope, and renovated the fish stand down there as well. He explained that they put a brand new roof on Cedar Harbor Government Dock, right? And then they installed a ladder to access the dock, right there. In Irish Bay, they cleaned the area and restored the beach, because of course there was a lot of sand loss. He explained that they also installed in Cooperstown Dock an access ladder for the boats or for the fishermen or for inventory, etc., coming into the country. In Cooperstown, he explained that they installed electrical paneling, etc., repaired the softball field. Same thing down there in Green Turtle Key. The bathroom block was repaired that both the public and visitors alike tourists enjoy, which was damaged since the hurricane. Down there in Whitby Town, he completely repaired the softball field and installed basketball courts, Whitby Town and Dundastown, right? And so there's a laundry list of stuff. Coming down to home repairs, the urban development started the small home repairs on North and South Abaco. 10 contracts were signed initially for repairs, 4 of which were completed 100%. Another 15 to 20 small home repairs contracts were signed, and more will be taken on as funding becomes available, right? He explained to me that in Central Pines, road repairs to the tune of over $4 million. Contracts have been signed off on and approved, and the work should begin shortly, right? He explained that down there, the administration just signed off on a major sale of the Treasure Key, which means that a gentleman who was a second homeowner for the last 20 years has committed to restoring Treasure Key to its glory days, and in its glory days, it employed about 70 to 80% of the entire island of Abaco in the tourism sector, right? They also executed an agreement for a casino on Walker's Key, right? He also explained, I'll end right here with this one for him. He also explained to me that he sees it very important to promote education, and a lot of these things he's been doing from the constituency funding, he would have explained to me, and he has all of his checks and receipts for every penny that would have been spent. He offers the top 3 graduates between $1,500, $1,200, and $1,000 towards advancing their education. And so, like Roseboro said, even and like C. Allen says, even if you're not seen by all of your constituents, the important thing, or the more important thing, is
but the important thing, Anton, is for them to come tell me. They come.
I don't disagree.
They should come. Listen, I told every single Anton, I gotta let you go. I agree. My lines lit right up. I appreciate your telephone call. I told every single one of them in the letter. I said, listen, you don't have to be there. I said, I will extend you an opportunity to even do a pre-recording for you. If you can be out of the country or whatever, just give me 10 minutes. Wherever you are, my WhatsApp could reach you. I could capture this information. And we could talk, and I could play the recording, that the people hear your voice, and this is what you have to say about your constituency. You don't need nobody to bring that information for you. This is what the people vote for you for. None of our name on the ticket except yours. Yours and the crab or the torch. That's it. Please, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to talk with transparency. I see I just got a text from, let me see if this is him. Call on the line, go ahead. Let me take this line real quick. Hey.
Man, I like that at all, man. Either that person incarcerated or they have a speech impairment. You actually let Anton come on the air to actually speak on behalf of a member of parliament.
That's what I tell him. The member of parliament should be shamed. You don't have to send nobody. No, Anton said he ain't doing it on his behalf, but he had conversation with him.
Come on now. When Anton started that mess, you should have cut him right off. Because he went before those persons asking them to vote for him, and he can't even come and speak on behalf of himself.
My God.
He has to send a messenger.
My God.
How disrespectful that is, man. Like he incarcerated it.
You can't add insult to injury. That's a lot.
Everything he say is a lie. He didn't do nothing, and he's ashamed to say he did nothing.
Well,
Okay? That's
you
what
know,
I
I can't say that he
Nothing.
didn't. I appreciate your telephone call, baby. I can't say that he didn't. But I can say that we've extended our opportunities, we extended ourselves to be able to do this. Now, on Monday, if I have not heard from you, ladies and gentlemen, this is what we're doing. This is just what we're doing. If you like it, you like it. If you don't like it, don't fight me. As a member of parliament, if you don't want to be able to speak on your own behalf, don't send nobody. I mean, you could come and talk about your constituency if you live there. But I want to hear from you. I give you the lineup for next week. Go and check me out, thefoundation242.com. I want to see more from St. Anne's. And if you're in that particular lineup, you have your letters, you have your information, I'll be more than happy to send it to you again. I've been nothing but decent. Praise Jesus. Enjoy your weekend, guys. Have a beautiful time. We're going to see you on Monday, God Spare Life, right here on The Foundation. Have a great day, guys.
But this a dance and